Thank you for coming this evening. It's a pleasure to see such a large turnout in what is shaping up to be going to be a very interesting election in Ontario, and also a very important election in Ottawa Centre. And I'm thrilled, as the candidate of record for the last two elections, to have a nomination battle in this riding, to be able to say we have two candidates who are putting their name forward to represent you as progressive conservative candidates in this riding. I am here today supporting one of the candidates. And the reason why I'm supporting one of these candidates is 6 weeks ago, I met Colleen for the first time. Colleen came to the board meeting. We gave her the opportunity to speak to the board members, gave her the opportunity to tell us her life story, gave us the opportunity to tell us what her values were, what her political values were, what her personal values were. And what we found, or what I found out of that, is here is a smart, self-accomplished, well-educated, and for me, a very grounded woman who can stand and say what she feels, what she thinks, and is confident in every word that she's saying. And when we think about what we want in politics today, we want someone who is fresh, has new eyes to the problems that we have in Ontario and in Ottawa Centre today. And what I look for and what I saw in Colleen was someone who's going to look at something and not give me a political answer, but she's going to give me her personal answer as to how to resolve an issue. I know that Colleen has been out talking to people. I know that Colleen has made 700 phone calls in the last 4 weeks. That's amazing, 700 phone calls. And a result of that is that you being here today, showing your support and your encouragement for Colleen to be our next candidate in Ottawa Centre. The thing about Colleen is that 6 weeks ago was her first foray into politics. She met a board. We could have all had masks on, those anonymous masks, because she didn't know who we were from her next door neighbor. She knows the height of the challenge that she has to face in this riding. But for Colleen, she connects with people. And what we need is someone who's going to be able to connect with people, but also connect with the issues and present the answers to the issues in a way that a person talks to our neighbors, not the way a politician talks to our neighbors. And that's the reason why I'm supporting Colleen and why I've decided to step forward and manage our nomination campaign to make sure that Colleen McCleery is our next Ontario PC candidate in Ottawa Centre. So without further ado, I want to give this over to Colleen and welcome Colleen to Ottawa Centre.
Thank you, Rob. Those are just about the kindest words anyone's ever said about me. Rob has been extremely kind to me. He's been mentoring me for the last 5 or 6 weeks. I'm fresh into politics, as he mentioned, and I've had to come up to speed very quickly. There's a few people in this room I'd like to thank. Les Farkas, he's not here right now, but for calling, making telephone calls and videotaping for me. I'd like to thank Kyle Campbell. Kyle heard me on the phone in the office and he came running over and said, "If you're running, I'll help you." And he strategized with me, he supported me in every way. He's taken on the role of the CFO, and he's also a member of the Ottawa U Progressive Conservative Club. And the person most importantly I'd like to thank is Jerry Kovacs.
Why?
Jerry Kovacs, without him I would not be here. Jerry got me into all of this. Jerry approached me. He's the only one in this room other than my sister who's here and my brother-in-law who knew me. Jerry persisted in convincing me that this was a wonderful opportunity. And to be honest, it's been a wonderful opportunity. I wish to thank all of you for coming here tonight to find out who I am. I know everyone is busy. I know I had a lot of people that had last-minute cancellations, but I appreciate the effort you've made to come tonight. I hope you will believe in me, and I hope you will come to the nomination vote and vote for me. I have worked hard. As Rob said, I've made about 700 calls with a little help from Les and Jerry. And told there will be bad calls when I started this, but there has been nothing but enthusiasm. I've heard a few comments about the leadership vote, but other than that, there has been so much excitement and hope and ideas for the coming election. People have wanted to tell me so much, and I'm happy that I've had the chance, actually, to call all of you and talk to you and listen to you. Most of you have received the invitation for this event that describes my background and my values and why I'm running. For those who haven't, I'll give you a little short background. I have lived in this riding for 23 years. I've lived in the Glebe and currently downtown. I speak French, oui je parle français. I went to the University of Waterloo and I took systems design engineering. I worked a bit and then I went to Queen's for my MBA. After 18 years in the public sector and a successful management consulting career, I went and followed my dream. I went to a foreign medical school and got my Doctor of Medicine. Now, the other day I was listening to the news and Kevin O'Leary was on and he said, I respect anyone who runs for office, which was interesting given what a dynamo he is. He said, it is hard work, but I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed listening to people. As Rob said, I love connecting with people and listening and thinking about what they have to say. Now, I don't have the same views as everyone here on everything, and that was obvious on the phone calls. But I think there are some things we all agree on. So some of my reasons for joining this race. My greatest joy is helping others. When I look back at my life's achievements, it's what I did for someone else. Politics has actually aligns with medicine quite well. It breaks down barriers, it's people-focused, and to be good at it, I think you have to talk as well as listen to people. I want to make things better. I remember Stephen Harper and the days when Canadians were so proud that we ran a zero deficit. Today, with the Liberals running our government provincially and spending our money, it seems that we're so far gone, it doesn't matter how big the debt gets. I left an article at the front, and it's written by the chief economist of the Conference Board of Canada, Alexander. He said something I thought was really significant. He said the hardest thing is to say no to deficit, because once you say yes, you're done. It's too easy to keep adding. So this debt repayment needs to be done now. I don't think there's a better time. We have a strong economy, low interest rates, low unemployment. This is the time to be paying down, not increasing the $12 billion in interest we currently pay. This should be going to services. And I have conservative values. I didn't even know it, but I've always leaned right, and I think this comes from my middle class upbringing. Now my priorities, the debt. I think the fiscal situation of $311 billion is deplorable. We are becoming a poor province. We used to be the wealthiest, and that was something I think we should be proud of. When Doug Ford said the party with taxpayers' money is over, I thought that was great. I agree. And I read constantly economists in the paper saying, good fiscal management means using our strong economy to put us in a position for the downturns. Kathleen Wynne is hobbling our children's future. There will never be a better time. The article mentions why deficit spending is so bad. When interest rates rise, which they are projected to do, more money will be needed to service our debt. Personally, I have always been a ferocious saver, and I enjoy financial security because I always understood the importance of my future. I would take this approach to Queen's Park. In healthcare, I support healthcare spending, but I believe there needs to be an emphasis on productivity. We need business people and accountants managing our hospitals. Setting and measuring targets. There is little to none of that, and that doesn't make healthcare better. There are pros and cons to our system. In my fourth year clerkship in family medicine, I worked in Far Rockaway in a hospital in the US with the poorest zip code in the United States. Patients would stroll in 4 hours late for appointments, and I was indignant to my attending because we should put up with this. It was obvious to me that we would treat all the patients and that the bean counters would make sure that we saw all the patients. So we stayed 3 to 4 hours late most nights. It was obvious who ran the ship, but I figured my job was to see patients. Theirs was to manage the costs. We all had a role to play, and we got to do what we loved. I don't condone lateness, but I understood business, and I think there needs to be more discipline in our system. Good equal care for everyone, but with more understanding of the costs. I believe in education. I'm someone with 3 degrees, and I believe in education. Only through a commitment to skills development and innovation, especially in the STEM field. There was an article the CEO of RBC mentioned this weekend. We need more investment in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics so that our society can maximize our output. Education is key to success in life. I'm sure most of you feel that way. And investment in educational institutions is important. Finally, something very important to me is elder care. I think there should be more emphasis on our seniors. They are often forgotten and pandered to. They are told, not listened to. I have seen good inexpensive facilities here in Ottawa that are closing due to lack of funding. We need the 15,000 beds that Doug Ford has committed to. I also believe geriatric mental health is overlooked and forgotten. Depression is very high in the senior population. They are very lonely and it kills. I am optimistic about the potential for small business to create jobs providing affordable daycare. And I believe that careful investment in social programs, we will be able to conserve and we will be able to pay down the $311 billion Kathleen Wynne debt. I want to thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. If you are not a member of the provincial Conservatives, I ask that you join so that you can participate in the nomination vote. Before I finish, I also ask you to give your time. We will need help, and I will need help, to get out the nomination vote, to make calls, and to knock on doors, which I hope to be doing as a candidate for this riding in a few weeks. To help me finish the job I've started, please sign up as a volunteer or to join the party. Finally, I just want to say thank you again, Rob, so much. Your words were just beautiful. And I really appreciate Rob's support and willingness to help me should I get the nomination vote, which I'm really hoping to. I would love to be in politics. I want to thank you. I want to wish everybody to enjoy themselves, and I look forward to chatting with you more. Thank you.
I think you've heard some wonderful words from our next PC nominee in Ottawa Centre. And I really hope that when you leave here tonight, and I don't want you to leave, we have some food, and Colleen wants to be able to say hi and talk to each one of you before you leave here this evening. Take the opportunity to talk to your neighbors, take the opportunity to talk to your friends who are also Conservatives in this riding. If they don't have a membership, please have them sign up online. We don't know when the nomination is going to take place, but it will be very, very fast, within 2 weeks. So it's going to be lickety-split so that we get Colleen on the road, knocking on doors, battling for this riding for the June 7th election. And with that being said, I want to repeat what Colleen mentioned, is that we have a sign-up sheet for volunteers. If you can't volunteer in the nomination, but we will need volunteers during the election because the nomination period is very short. Anything you can do, we need your name, your phone number, and your email address. We'll talk about what you can do. We'll contact you, whether it's calling, door knocking, whatever you can do for us. But we're just looking to get a group of Conservatives who want to support Colleen and want to seat Colleen as our next candidate, or next PC candidate. I would be more than thrilled to lose my title of candidate of record to Colleen McCleery as our candidate in Ottawa Centre. So thank you very much for coming. Please take some time, shake hands, and say hi to Colleen. And from my heart. Thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Thank you.